All right, so now we are going to continue with Tabletop Simulator, and this is the game of circulation being built in Tabletop Simulator. Not all of it, mind you, but as far as I got previously. So I've launched Tabletop Simulator. I'm up to date in Tabletop Simulator. I'm going to click on Create, and because I'm just building, I'm going to go to Single Player, which will be great for my prototyping. Wonderful. Now, first things first, I need a better table. So I'm going to get out of here and I'm decide what kind of a table environment I want. Now, when it comes to figuring out what table you want, I want as much room as possible. Now, square seems right, but I think I might need. I don't know if I need the room. Do I need room on this table? Yeah, I might need a room for things. So I'm going to go for the big rectangle and start with that. All right, here we go. I've got a table. Beautiful. Now, let's start building the game. So what kind of objects do we need? Obviously, I'm going to come over here, components. I need a custom board. Beautiful. Throw that board on the table. And now when you're done with that, you press escape. Now I want to import my image. So let's come over here and browse local files. I've put it on the desktop under Serious Game Design, under Circulation, and hopefully I named my files properly. The board, lovely. Select. Now, I want to upload it to the cloud so I can play with my class later on. So I can hit cloud. I can make subfolders if I want, but I'm just going to upload it. And there you go. And let it do its thing. Obviously, the board is quite large. It's going to upload it, and that is it doing its thing. Now, I forget how many players can actually play in Circuit. I said 2 to 4, because that's how many resources they gave us. But we actually can probably go as much as we want. All right, now that it's been loaded to the cloud, I hit import, and it will load it back into the game. It's a multi-step process. Don't be fooled by that. All right, so while it's loading, there it is. This is great. It's alive. It's alive. Now boards are automatically, if you look, they're automatically locked. And if I unlock it, I can pick it up and move it. Obviously, I don't want to just have it off to the side or anything like that. I am going to make it bigger by hitting the plus key. Because I do want it to take up quite a bit of the area here. That's I think I made it too big. All right, that feels right. All right, and now I am going to lock it. Now, hopefully, I can still read the board, and the answer is yeah. If I was playing this game, I could still read the board to see what it says. Yeah. All right. I feel pretty good. That actually makes me feel happy right there. All right. So now the question is going to be what? You know what it is? It's the high contrast that kills me. Always forget about that. If I go to options, lighting, what we're looking at is what the lighting intensity is like, right? So if I've got the lighting intensity turned up too high, everything becomes really, really high contrast. So you just want to make sure that you're careful about that as you go forward. I always forget that that's where the problem comes into play when you're dealing with things where everything looks a whole high contrast. It's because you added a light, and there you go. All right, so now I've got to decide what I want my hero to be. Now, in this game, you carry around things in that cup. That's very important. And so what ends up happening is that the cup would be able to sit in one of these spots. So let's come over here and let's find an object that can carry things. If we go to go, we have a white bowl and a black bowl. That could be useful for carrying things. If I go to miscellaneous, I have just a regular bowl. Let's actually just come over here and look at the word cup. Nope. So if I look up bowl, we're going to find we have a black bowl, a white bowl, and a regular bowl. Let's, I don't know what the white bowl looks like. The white bowl is filled with coins. Yeah. It's a bowl filled with, no, that's not what I want. So let me come over here and just grab a regular bowl. Much better. And if I hit escape, stop that. I'm going to come over here and delete that bowl. Now this is going to be my hero. Will it work as my hero? Well, this is where it gets fun because I've got to look for the smallest piece possible. And yeah, I think I might be able to. think I'm able to make that work. So that you're going to walk around. All right, that works so far. Now, we need multiple characters here. And in the real game, the plastic cup was clear and it had the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I appreciate what you were doing, but I don't like numbering people. I think 1, 2, 3, and 4, we tend to do with colors. So let's come over here and see if we can tint this somehow. So let's see if we can tint this. Let's go with the red first. Can we make a red bowl? We can. We can make a red bowl. All right. So let's duplicate this. All right, so we've got 4. I always hit escape too many times. Sorry about that. So let's color tint this one to be blue, like a light blue. There we go. All right. I just need to make 4 distinct colors for this to work, folks. Green. Maybe we can tint him more into the blues then. All right. And then let's see if we can get maybe to the yellows. I got 4 different colors. This is so happy for me right now. You're so excited by this. I really am. I really am excited by the fact that I can come over here and walk around the board. Now, one of the trickier things about working in, and by the way, just, up plus and minus, right click, and then I just click color tint. Now, one of the cool things you can do in this is I can put this wherever I want, but what I want to do is I want to make it so that it's a little bit easier to not miss the spots. So for that, what I'm going to do is I am going to add, I always forget where everything is, because that's who I am. Oh, that's right, I'm going to add points. And points are snap points. So I'm going to grab a little magnet, and I'm going to come over here and draw points all over the board. And what this will do is it'll make it easier for you to play the game, because people will know when they've landed on the right point. We hope. Oh, it's always tricky when you've got something that's in and out. I'm going to go for the arrowhead here. I'm going to put this one over here. You can just pick up a point and move it if you put it in the wrong spot, which is what's nice. So sometimes you just randomly just throw them on. No, I don't want to tag you just yet. Tagging is cool too, because you can do really cool things when we do advanced. But we're not doing advanced yet. We're not doing anything too interactive. I mean, we'll get there if I decide to go crazy and make things really interactive. I'll put this one on the arrowhead, and I'll put this one over here. Those are only the tricky ones. The tricky ones are the ones where you're like, yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. Where am I going to put it? So I have to remind everybody, if in doubt, it's on the arrowhead. Or I could put one in both places, since it really is just, yeah, I can do that too. This one doesn't work that well. All right, so have I missed one? I think I'm good to go. Let me come over here and tuck things around a little bit more. I could even put off to the side, but I'm not going to. What that means is that 1, 2, 3. It just kind of helps you pick where it's going to go. That makes me so happy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we need to, well, first of all, I want to save. I'm too happy. I want to save. So I'm going to go to game, save and load. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to save the game. And I'm going to call this circulation. Now this is just in my account. This is private. Nobody can see it. So I'm good to go here. I'm not worried about anybody's, problems with copyright. Now, let's go back to objects and start making custom components. I want, do I want a figurine? I don't want a figurine. I want custom what? Token? Token. Ooh, we know we need dice. We know we need dice. We already did that one. So let's go with the dice since we've got that way forward. So I'm going to click on dice. And then I click escape. And it asks me what type of dice I want. I say a D10. And it goes, really? Which D10 do you want? And I'm going to do the circulation D10. I'm going to select that. I'm going to load it to the cloud. Upload it. Wait for it to upload. Once it's uploaded, I'm going to import it. It's going to show up over here. And then I'm going to make it bigger so I can see it. Now, one of my favorite parts about a dice, if I can roll it, by the way. Oh, look at that. I love that. I can roll that. Is if I right-click on the die, I can click on, I can actually force it to any rotational value I want, which is neat. But, stop that. If I come over here and I go to the gizmo and I go to the rotational value and then I click on this, it'll actually show me what each of these are, and it will allow me to edit the values. So this is equal to 3, and this is equal to 2. It was already equal to 2. I'm an idiot. This is equal to 5. Right. This is equal to, gotta hit submit. Submit. This is equal to 6. This is equal to 1. This is equal to, it's already equal to, oh no, that's right, that's equal to 4. I'm always looking at the wrong things. 4. 3, 2, 5, 6, 1, 4. This is equal to 4 as well. This is equal to 5. This is equal to 7. And this is equal to emergency. And yes, you can type in a non-number. And this is really a fun thing that you can do when you're playing in this, because it makes the tabletop simulator easier to work with. So if I click back over here on my grab tool, I decide how big I want to make this. I think that's pretty good. And if I rotate the die, it'll tell me it's a 5. If I rotate it again, it'll tell me it's a 3. If I rotate it again, it'll tell me it's a 1. And that's what's really nice about this, is that I don't have to just look at it. I can hover over it, and it'll show me what it looks like. And now there's no more fake numeric values. Oh, there it is a 4. And again, I still have it should be perfect, and I should have a 1 in 10 chance of getting that emergency die in there. You'll notice now why I wanted to keep those little black lines in there, because I like the little edges there. I think that makes it a little easier to look at. I'm never going to hit emergency. By the way, if I go to 9, it'll show you what emergency looks like. But you get the idea. Emergency. Yay! So I made the die. Woohoo! This is so exciting. Let's continue. I'm going to make another die. So because I like the size of this die, I'm actually going to clone it. Wait, can I do that? And then I'm going to, yes, custom. I'm going to browse for the other die. I'm going to put it on the cloud, upload it, import it. Do you want to update them to match? No, I do not. I want them to be unique. So they are unique die. And then, of course, I need to come over here. I need to go back to the rotation value, click on this die, and say 3, edit, 7, submit, 5 is good, 6 is good. See, I got to make sure I don't be an idiot this time. Edit, 3, submit. What do we got over here? Edit. That should be an 8. submit 33775566338844. This should be a 6. This should be an 8. And that's already a 7. See how by copying I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. And if I do that and I hit this, now these should still be unique. So that's a 6. And that's a 6. And that's an 8. And in a later version, we'll show you how to make the die roll faster by changing its physics. But now we have the 2 die that we need to work with, and that's instead of the spinner. Sorry about your spinner, dude. All right, next. Now we've got to add our other little components here. Now, other components are going to be bone marrow, the red blood cells, and then, of course, the other bits and pieces that we need. Now, I'm going to do the bone marrow and the red blood cells first because they are a little bit different than the other ones that we're dealing with because that has to do with something else. So let's start off with the red blood cell. The red blood cell is easy because technically it's a sticker. Wait, can I make stickers? Ooh, you never lose the red blood cell. Okay, now I'm a little confused. I'm actually really... wait, let's see what you can do here. You can do a decal. All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if I can make a new decal. RBC for red blood cells. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give it RBC to the cloud. Upload it. Size the decal in inches. Let's see if that works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's zoom in and see if that was as any good. Yeah, that was not as good as I wanted it to be, but all right. I want a red blood cell permanently in the middle of my bowls. Excellent. And that's what that was supposed to do. Now, I could say, well, there's the rotation's off. It's fine because technically we can rotate the bowls later. If I wanted to, I could rotate the bowl in any direction I want to so that they're all mixed up. But the idea is I now have the red blood cell, which this is a parallel to what we did. It was just a sticker on that thing, which is probably the easiest way of doing it. And it's a 3-mile thing. The other thing we need is the white blood cells. And the white blood cells, we only need 4 of them in the game because everybody gets one. And if we lose one, we stick them in the, or I don't know how many you get, but we only need to make a few of them. And this will be our first opportunity to make them. So let's see what ends up happening. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go back to Objects, Components, Custom. And this is a token. Is it a token? Let's see if it's a token. So I'm going to click on token. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the white blood cells. This is an interesting one right here. Select it, load it from the cloud, upload it to the cloud. Now, is it stackable? Do you want the tokens to stack like poker chips? Sure. Do I want to stand up like a meeple? No. Import. Let's see what happens. That worked. That is what I wanted. It's way too big, but it's what I wanted. It's exactly like the real game. All right, so shrink it. A little smaller. I think it needs to go a little smaller. I think the thickness is too big. So let's take a look at this. This is way too thick for what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to delete it and insert it again, which means it's somewhere. It's there. So I'm going to come over here, component, custom, token, and then somewhere it's already in here. I don't have to reload it again. I'll have to delete it somewhere in the system. All right, upload to the cloud, upload. And so thickness is way too thick. So stackables, yes, because I don't know about that's going to look yet. Let's go for half the thickness at the minimum, 0.10. Import. All right, that feels a little bit better. Now we're going to shrink it down. All right, I'm going to flip this over for a moment. There we go. If in doubt, all right, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. I'll make it a little bigger, I think, maybe, so I can grab it still. Okay, so click and drag. So I want to make it so that I can get this thing out of here. Uh-oh, there we go. Move that baby over here. So how do I get it out of the bowl after? Maybe, so do I make it bigger? Yeah. So it was too small. All right. I don't want that to be how I get out of the bowl. Now I could just, well, first I need to clone it. Oops, stop that. All right, so I have this one in case I mess it up. If I hit delete, I can delete it. All right, fine. So I need to have a bunch of bone marrow that I can. So let me. Oh, I can. Oh, that's how they're stackable. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. One. All right. So I need to be able to pick up bone marrow from there. Now, what's interesting about this is now that I see that, I don't want to cover up that stuff. So I'm going to probably make my bone marrow off to the side. So I'm going to come back over here to my magnet. I'm going to move my bone marrow here and my bone marrow here, because we're going to stack them so that you can see them. So now I can put this here, and I need enough for the whole game. So you only can carry one bone marrow. There's only 4 players. So I can come over here and do 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have a ton of bone marrow sitting out there. That's great, starting point. And of course, everybody starts with 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I feel comfortable with that. Well, at least I would feel comfortable with that if I did. There we go. Get in there. Great. So we have. It's so weird. I'm gonna have to do some research to figure out why I'm doing wrong. But you know what? It's working so far. Let's do that again. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. No, I don't. Click, and I can lift it up. Lift up the whole thing. Yeah, I think I just have to be slower. I think I just have to like hover, click, and lifts up. So hover, click, and it lifts up. Let's see if I can be consistent. Hover, click, and lifts up. Hover, click, and lifts up. Probably could even made him, wait, do it again. Hover, click, nope. Hover. No, I have no consistency here. They're great. That time I wanted to lift the whole thing up. All right, so I've got some research to do. All right, so again, but I can always delete it. There we go. And, oh. You just click one off that way. Click one off that way. So to select one, by the way, you just click and that grabs the whole stack. Otherwise, it's click and grabs the whole stack versus grabbing one. So fast motion grabs one, slow motion grabs the whole stack. So fast motion grabs one. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the fast motion. Oh, I'm stuck again. But again, we'll see how it happens as the game progresses. Fascinating, fascinating. All right. I told you this is a learning process. So now I need waste. Now, the thing about waste is the waste sits in your cup, but it never ends up on your scorecard. So I can be a little bit more generous with how it looks like. And you can have quite a bit of waste in here. So let's come back over here and let's, and we have two different types of waste. We have the left lung, which is where you get the gaseous waste. You drop off the waste in the left lung. Wait, where do you get the waste from? All right. You pick up the waste in all of the extremities. That's right. Pick up gaseous waste, pick up renal waste, then begin again. That's right. So that's going to be right here is where you pick up the waste. And then, of course, you drop the waste off in the lungs and the kidneys. All right. So let's make some waste. Let's do it. Object, components, custom, token. I've never done two tokens at once. Let's see what happens if I do two tokens at once. So the first token is going to be gas. Excuse me. Cloud, upload, all the way down, stackable, not stand up, import. No, I want to do a different one. Okay, because it saw the other one. And that's going to be the renal waste. Select, cloud, upload. If in doubt, go slow. If in doubt, say no. If in doubt, delete and start again. Stackable, import. So I've got my renal waste and my gaseous waste. Now the bad news is I want them to be the same size, so I'm going to shrink them down. All right, good. Now remember, we need to have gaseous. Okay, just like before, I need to make sure that I have a place for the stacks of waste. So let's come over here to the points. Let's add 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So this is a place where we can stack the stacks. I need to make a stack, so I don't know how many we need. Probably a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 20. Great. Now 21, I got the whole stack. Oh, undo that. There we go. All right, so how many do I got? A stack of 21. Beautiful. Copy and paste. I got a stack of 20. Oops. I got to go slowly. Got a stack of 21 right there. That's good. Paste. Gotta go slowly. Got a stack of 21 right there. Good. Got a stack of 21 right there. That's good. I guess I got a stacked pieces, but that's kind of a weird thing to do. And then last one is there you go. That one. Stack of 21 right there. Good. So, and then we copy in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's make sure everything's stacked together. What am I up to? 12, 13. Great. So now I got to wait. So now I got a stack of 21 again. Copy. And paste. So in retrospect, I probably should have not used the black chips because the board is a difficult thing. But I could I could lighten the board if I had to a little bit, just the base of the board, and that'll. I mean, it takes. Oh no! Well, that was good. I'm surprised that worked really much better than I expected. So let's come over here and see if I can lighten the board. Let's see. Toggles, tags, color, tint, all the way up to white. That's fine. Physics, no. Toggles, no. Well, if I have to, I'll adjust it later and see what I can do. In the meantime, I have stacks of waste. I have stacks of gaseous waste and renal waste, and the question, of course, is that as I need to, grab one, throw it in here, grab one, throw it in here, which is the real trick, so that as I come around and it's my turn, I'm like, drop off the waste, so I can come over here and I can put one there, then of course I can put one there. That's what you're supposed to do. And then apparently I can get one out of there, but there we go. It's never perfect, folks. It's never perfect. It's just a good starting point. So this is my stack of resources. Now I could have done it a little bit differently. And let me give you an example of how I could do it a little differently. So I've got, this is more than enough resources that I need for the game. So I could come over here instead, and I like brainstorming as I do this. I go to the objects, components, and I can look for a bag. An infinite bag is an infinite bag better than a regular bag? Yeah, I think an infinite bag will work here, right? So that means that if I were to add oh yeah, that's crazy. Reset that bag. Oh, sorry about that. So I can come over here and just grab one of these and throw it in there. Oops. Throw it. There we go. So now I have an infinite bag of these. So I can pull them out till the cows come home. Probably a little bit smarter, right? That looks a little bit better now that I think about it. Now, of course, the color tint with this would be yellow because I want this to be the poopy bag, right? There you go. I mean, that's the yellow bag. So that much smarter. Oh, you're thinking, why didn't you go for the bone marrow? Because I'm an idiot. All right. That's why you watch these videos. All right. So let me come over here and delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. And of course now, oops. So now we have this common bag of waste. Good. That works. So let's do another one. Object, component, bag. Oh, no, infinite bag. And how many infant bags? I'll do a bone marrow bag too, just so I can have it. And I'm gonna need 2 more bags. All right, that's all the bags I'm gonna need. These are our resource bags. So let's come over here to the first bag and let's color tint it to be white. And let's come over here and color tint this one to be like a light blue. No, we want it to be a deeper blue than that. All right, and then we're going to come over here and color tint this one to be a green. And we want to color tint this one to be like I don't want to say black, but let's do like that one. So this is our poop stuff, but how are we going to make this one look good? All right. The green looks good. The green will work for the food. But for the oxygen, we want like a bright blue. But you can't really make it brighter. I may have to. Do you know what I may have to do? I may have to increase the brightness of the room. All right. That helps a little bit. All right. So that would be our oxygen and our... All right, so now we need 1 bit of solid waste, and now we have our waste bag, so we can put that over here. So everyone can draw from it infinitely as we go. Good. All right, next we need our white blood cell, which is now in here. And I think we're going to then delete all of those. And can we make this smaller? Yes, the pieces come out the same size, but the bag is smaller. So I can put the bag there, so I don't care what the color is. And then I can grab another bag of it, and oops. And I can put the bag there. So our bone marrow is good. So we have bone marrow. We have bone marrow in our bone marrow. It's the only place we can grab it from. We have our original bone marrow here, but now we can delete them because we have infinite. And then of course, when we need to pick up waste, we have waste and waste. Now, what I don't know about is can I lock these in place without locking their usefulness? So let's come over here, and I'm going to work over here, and I'm going to toggle, lock it in place. So if it's locked, I can't pick it up, but I can still, oh yeah, that's great. Very helpful. Again, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to lock this in place. I'm going to lock this in place, and I'm going to lock this in place. So great. So we have these stacks locked in place, and I can delete these things. And I could delete, and I should probably come back over here and how do we delete these? Oops. How do you delete these? Don't want to delete all the snap points. No. I mean, maybe. All right. Oh, duh. You click it. You just click it again and it deletes it. Sometimes it's so simple and you never give up and you never get frustrated. I'm going to put the bone marrow bag here. I'll leave that one there. Copy and paste. Put that one there. And then make sure it's locked into place. Good. All right. Now, there's a... all right, I'm happy with the way this is going so far. Very nice. So now I can come over here and I can call this renal waste. So now if I do this, I can come over here. Is that right? Is that gaseous waste? Yeah. It's so funny they're backwards. Why are they backwards? Oh my god. Let me come over here and empty this. Reset. Flip. Drop it in there. And it's locked. So pull one out. Flip. Gotta pay attention, folks. Reset. Put it in there. Great. So now that's good. And I'll name this one gaseous waste. Good. So now gaseous waste, renal waste. And this will be bone marrow. I haven't checked to see if these are upside down. They are not. Good. So I can come over here and say bone WBC because that's what's in them. And then rename this and close one WBC that's in them. Well, that's good. And I should have renamed them all beforehand. Because I could have just done that. And actually, let me show you what I can do. So, like, if I come over here, I'm going to delete the white blood cells from here. I'm going to pull one out. I'm going to rename this one WBC. I'm going to reset this one and reset this one. They should both be locked in place. But now if I come over here and put this one in here, I can pull one out. I can put it in here. And now I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And so now the cascading is there. And you're like, does that mean you're going to have to come over here and do it this way? Yes, I am. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to pull out one renal waste and one gaseous waste. I'm going to reset both of these. I'm going to cheat. Oops, no, stop it. I'm going to, over here where the description is, I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to paste it over here so I don't have to do it again. And then I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it over here so I don't have to do it again. I'm going to reset this one. One goes in here, one goes in here, and now we are good to go. So far so good. Feeling pretty happy with it. I'm going to rename this one oxygen, and I'm going to rename this one food. So pretty good on this one as well. So we're getting somewhere. I probably need to lighten up the board. I don't think we need to lighten up the board. We solved that problem. We don't need to lighten up the board. We probably could a little bit, but we don't have to. And I want to just, oops, I guess I want to, oh, look at that. I have my little private area there, which is nice. But I can delete that because I don't need that piece off to the side. But I am going to need my own scoreboard. And this is going to be, the scoreboard, the last two pieces will be what we do as we finish up this section. And then we'll move on to the cards. And then we'll play, which is kind of fun as well. So, and then, of course, so this is circulation dice. And this would be my emergency dice. All right, so far so good. Feeling good about this. I got my all players. I can pick up my character and I can move him around the board. Of course, you got to follow the arrows because if you don't, you'll have a stroke. All right, oxygen and food. So let's do this again. Oh, no, we're going to make the board first. So we're going to come over here and do game, not games. We're going to do objects, components, custom. Custom what? Now, this is a weird one because we're really going to be making sort of a board that you can carry with you. So we're going to have to be a little bit tricky here because, again, that's where we have such a big space to work with. So I'm going to come over here and make a custom board. And then I'm going to import my scoreboard. Select, cloud, upload. Import. Good. Now close this. Now this is, I don't know why. Okay. Now what's interesting here is it's locked in place. Yay. No. Ooh. There's a mistake too. It says circulation 3. I'm going to have to make 4 of these boards. So let's, oh no, maybe I can fix this. All right. Still, let's slow down for a moment. So the first thing I want to do is I want to turn off the lock. The second thing I want to do is make this thing smaller. Now, I need to be able to play with up to 4 players. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're all going to have our own little sort of issues along the way. Now, one of the cool things is my goal, I don't want to put renal waste in. Oh, my, did I? Is it forever crooked because I loaded it crooked? Oh, yeah. That's okay. You don't actually ever load waste into this board. But it does bring me an interesting... it does bring up something interesting that I have to consider. All right, so the idea being is eventually I'm going to load in here these things. So I've got to have room for 4 of these on the board. So 1, and of course we all sit all over the place here. So I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to turn off the lock. I have no idea what's going to happen next with what I'm about to do. Yeah, that was what I didn't want to have happen. Oh my. Okay, undo. Undo. There we go. Now I'm going to undo. There we go. I'm going to unlock this one. And I'm going to unlock this one. I'm going to unlock this one. I'm going to unlock this one. I'm going to move this over here so I can play with it later. And then I'm going to grab these 2, which are they locked? No, they're not locked. I'm going to move this one over here. I'm going to move this one over here. I'm going to move the die out of the way. Then I'm going to unlock the board and very carefully lift up everything over this way. Good. So now if this is player 1, then this will be player 2. And this will be player 3. By the way, if you wanted to do this more precisely than I just did, I could come over here to the rotational value of this item. And you see the rotation right now is... Oh. Is it rotated? Oh yeah, so this one's rotated 180 degrees. I can literally type it in. Hey dogs, 180 degrees. There we go. And this one is also 180 degrees. This one is 0, which is what I want. And then I can come over here and I can paste it, and then I can have 4 on the same time. So now we have enough room for 4 players. How people will sit around the board we'll do later on, but I can feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, I'm going to lock this back in place, and then I can lock everything else back in place, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Now, what's cool about this is that now that I have this sort of miniature scoreboard on the screen, there's no secrets here. I can come over here and I can lock all of these into place. Now, I still think it's funny it's a circulation 3. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to tint my object. I'm going to tint the one red. Oh, that's so funny. It's tinting the border. I'm going to tint one green. I'm going to tint one blue. And I'm going to tint one yellow. All right. So the tints aren't really good here, and the reality of it is I'm going to go back and I'm going to make 4 different graphics here and pop them in, so they'll be like player 1, 2, 3, and 4 in color. So I can do that there. But I don't want to just leave here just yet because I'm having too much fun. All right, so I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to put this one over here. We'll get back there. So now I need to make the last 2 pieces. Now, before I make those last 2 pieces, I need to remember what exactly that I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make pieces that will fit in here and also in the thing. So you're eventually going to lay them all in here. It's kind of fun. Object, component, custom, token, 1, 2. Grab, import. I need food. Select, cloud, upload, thickness down to 0. Stackable? No, I don't need stackable anymore because we're not stacking. Import, and now I want to do a different one. So I'm going to do browse, oxygen, select, cloud, upload, there, import. Good. Close these out. Now let's take a look at our oxygen, right? Way too big. So now I want to make it small enough that it covers into that hole right there. And what this means also is when the time comes, I'm going to make this board have things that automatically glue to it, but I'm not going to do that in a second. So that's my oxygen. So I'm going to call it oxygen. Great. So now I can come over here and I can throw it in the infinite oxygen, and that's exactly what ends up happening. So I can come over here and grab oxygen. Beautiful. Yay, oxygen. Do the same thing for food. Shrink it down. I make it a little bigger than it should be so it works. Oh, it's way too big. Beautiful. All right, good. Right click on this one, name it food. Now, come out of here, zoom back in, put it over here, and now we have food. Now the question is, next question is, can we load up our character with food and oxygen, and gaseous waste and renal waste? Here we go. So if we have to, we can, though you can't carry all of them at the same time. And if we had to, we could always unload. You know, if I really got locked out of here, I would just flip my bowl. Oops. I would grab my whole bowl. There we go. Flip my bowl back and put my white blood cell back in there, and then I can delete those babies. All right, so we've got some questions still, and again, this was never meant to be definitive. It was meant to be like, what is it going to take for me to put this together? I'm definitely going to lock my wastes together, and I'm definitely going to lock my non-waste together. Right, so lock and lock. So it's kind of fun. So as a game designer, if I were to do this, if I were to rebuild circulation, if I was actually to design this game, would I use a spinner? No, because as I mentioned earlier, spinners don't work very well and people like dice. Would I use a D10? Probably not, but I'm a big fan of this. I like the way this works. So we would use a D10. Again, the colors on the die are arbitrary. With the it's kind of funny is if you were to look at this from a modern perspective, you go the other way around. Because the spinner needed to be interesting, the D10 doesn't. I would actually have made this all of these numbers whatever, and then the emergency would have been red, and then this die would be all red if I wanted it. So I'd have like a red movement die for the emergency, but knowing I'm just doing this as an homage to the original colors, but I didn't need to. Now, again, going back to the original game, having 4 bins full of pieces, that's as good work. Now, I should probably go back and write oxygen, food, renal waste, and gaseous waste, someplace on the board so that I can know where to put them, but I'm not really worried about that. I'll probably go back and make sure that these are straight because they're not. I'm going to go back and fix and edit this image. And then I'll probably create 4 of them so that it's not just the frame that indicates who's who. What else do I have to do? I might lighten up the base of the board. I might not because that black is so black. And then I have to make the cards. So far so good. I do need a little bit more stuff here. And then the real question is, how much programming am I going to do? Right now I'm just doing the physical layout of the game. I'm reproducing the game physically from one to the next. So the next thing I have to do is to fix the cards and the mini board. We know that's a known. Then I have to implement the cards and see what else I'm going to implement. So thanks for watching, and part 3 is coming. By the way, remember, I have permission to do this. I'm not going to be selling this game. I'm not going to be giving it out. This is a demo where my students will be able to play with the demo, and you get to watch me make the demo. That's it. Thanks. Bye.